in January, Governor Gretchen Whitmer signed several school safety bills into law, but the legislature isn't finished with that issue. They're working on more possible laws. During a House and Education Workforce Committee meeting in Lansing yesterday, lawmakers advocated for passing two bills regarding school safety. One would require schools to have a safety plan by the 2026-2027 school year. The other bill would require state police to develop and host annual trainings at schools. For parents like Steve St. Juliana, whose daughter was killed in the Oxford High School shooting, he says this just isn't enough.
Very frustrating that it's taking so long on one hand. And in addition, the bills themselves are incomplete. They're half measures at best.
It has been more than 3 years since Hannah St. Juliana was gunned down inside her high school. The 14-year-old had her whole life ahead of her. Now it's been on her dad and other parents to advocate for change. But as Steve St. Juliana explains, not enough has been done.
While there are steps in the right direction, for example, they talk about providing training. Great. But there's no methods for tracking to ensure that the training is done, or enforcement to say that they must do this, and what happens if they don't.
As proposed right now, there's no penalty if a school doesn't follow through. Mike Harris is the lawmaker who sponsored the bill. He says from his experience in law enforcement, these need to be implemented.
It is imperative to not only have great training for your school districts and your police departments, but that there is some similarity across districts and police departments across the states.
The recommendations for a safety plan and training came from a bipartisan task force. The task force was developed in 2021 after the deadly shooting at Oxford High School. However, we are more than 3 years past the tragedy and lawmakers are still working to instill a plan.
It is truly hard. It was probably why this package took so long. It's truly hard to anticipate everything that could happen.
Steve says that he has met with lawmakers in the past few weeks and explained to them from his perspective, the bills fall short.
Most all of them have been surprised to learn of all of the existing gaps, the fact that so much is still undone. So it's been worthwhile just to educate them on what the true status is.
These bills are just in committee and would still have a ways to go before they would actually be signed into law by Governor Gretchen Whitmer.